Hello there, everyone, and welcome to a bonus episode of the Overcast. I'm Justin,
I'm Nick.
I'm Brooksy.
and together we're going to talk about Gamescom, a thing that happened earlier this week, a couple days ago. Yeah, it's funny. It seems like because Summer Game Fest is so big, it's not just the main show, but there's several showcases. So we always have to do not even one, but usually two full episodes on that. But Gamescom, a little bit smaller. Usually there's only one, maybe two things to pay attention to. And therefore, bonus episode instead. We will have another numbered episode coming soon. Do not you worry. But for today, Gamescom, for those who don't know, is basically a gaming convention that happens in Cologne, Germany. It's a show floor full of different booths and demos and stuff that people get to play and whatnot. It's basically their version of what E3 used to be out here. So they still have something like that. They even said as much in the show. They're like, E3 isn't dead, it just moved over to Germany. So, yeah. So that's what they have. And basically, every year, tradition for them is the night before the show floor is open, they have the opening night live hosted by Jeff Keighley, which is a big 2.5 hour showcase full of new game announcements and trailers and updates on things we know about. It's basically the second of 3 of these things that we get every year, all completely monopolized by Jeff. He is for all intents and purposes, Jeff Keighley is the Walt Disney of video game announcements right now. He's basically the supreme overlord of showcases.
Yeah, kind of.
And professional wrangler of the Muppets.
Yeah, he's got Summer Game Fest, Gamescom, and the Game Awards. So Gamescom opening night live happened, and there were several things talked about on this show. We're gonna start off. I'm gonna ask each of you what your top announcement from the show was. What's your big kahuna?
Ooh. Nick, you want to go first?
Yeah, mine is Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight.
Yeah, man, it looks really good. It looks weirdly OP. Like I'm not even a big Batman person, but I love the Lego Batman movie, and this has very similar vibes, just of the Dark Knight trilogy.
Well, that's intentional. So the whole idea behind this Lego game is that you live through Batman's entire career, from his origins in training all the way up to his Dark Knight phase, and the game is it's basically. So it's an original story, but it's borrowing scenes and characters from all sorts of different movies, comics, and video games from the Batman lore that is and putting them together. That's why when he's like, you want to get nuts, let's get nuts. That's Michael Keaton's Batman. They had Heath Ledger's Joker in there. They had
that's
Bane,
what had me excited. Is Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yeah. And some of these, and then that part with that car chase scene with the Penguin, that's from the Robert Pattinson Batman movie. And
this
the
game is going to be stacked.
The gameplay, they said it's going to be open city exploration. The combat, the gameplay is all pulled straight from Arkham Knight. So it's like
a Lego wait.
Not Arkham Knight, but the Arkham games in general. The Arkham games. So they said it's all basically, this is a Lego version of the Arkham games with all the cutscenes being pulled directly from different Batman movies throughout the years.
I cannot fucking wait for this.
And that's pretty cool because this is kind of like what they did for the Skywalker Saga, the Lego Skywalker Saga, except that followed the plots of all 9 movies, whereas this is basically a vignette of Batman's history would be the best way to explain it.
I can't remember the last time I was this excited for a Lego game.
I don't think
it does look really good.
Like I've never been like a big like Lego game person. Like my little brother played them when we were younger and all that. I
They're
never got
so
into
much
them.
fun.
This is the first one that I'm like, okay, I
No.
kinda like Sam's a big Batman fan, and I'm like, this kind of looks sick. Like I again, like I do love like and I know this is so sacrilegious to say, but my favorite Batman movie is the Lego Batman movie. I hope
Bro.
that they do keep.
Bro.
I know, I'm a monster. I don't care. I don't care. My favorite thing about it was the humor aspect of it. I was like, I hope they at least have some forms of humor in it.
Oh yeah, the
And when you
Lego
see
games are
Bane,
known for their
yeah,
slapstick humor. That's
and that
their
was the
thing.
thing. Like when you see Bane step on a Lego and go ooh and like picked it up, I
Yeah,
was like, oh okay, all right, I'm in, I'm sold.
yeah,
Go ahead and
yes,
take my
yes,
money.
absolutely, yes. That is peak Lego humor. And the thing is, the Lego games throughout the years, they've basically all just been retellings of the plots of the movies they're based on. And for the longest time, they didn't even have voice acting. And then for a while, the voice acting they had were all just lines ripped straight from the movie. Like they just took the audio from the movies and put them in the game. Like they did that for Lord of the Rings and Pirates of the Caribbean, for their Lego versions. But those games were all fun because for me it was like fun to relive like these movies I really enjoy in like this goofy Lego form with a little bit of like humor,
Hell yeah.
slapstick humor thrown in, and pretty much every Lego game is an easy platinum. A little tedious because you got to find all the mini kits and all the gold bricks and shit. So there's a lot of like you gotta go once you beat the game. You gotta replay levels with all the characters unlocked so you could get the shit you couldn't get before because you needed certain powers, you know. And I've been through that a few times. So I've gotten quite a few Lego platinums.
Oh yeah.
I enjoy them, but this is gonna be different from those past Lego games. I think this is a whole different beast. Like they're trying something new and unique here, and I'm 100% in on it.
Hell yeah. I'm fucking all over this shit.
Hell yeah.
What was your top announcement, Brooksy?
It was brand new IP, man, that I have been like obsessed with since it first came up on screen. It's Valor Mortis. Like I know, big shock. I know Brooksy wanted the Souls-like game, but dude, I know. Ooh, one, I think it's a ballsy move that they're doing it in first person as opposed to third person for a Souls-like game, and I'm kind of curious to see how that's going to work out. I just think that this Napoleon era weird like necromancy zombie creature-esque world that they've created, it just looks so cool. The graphics looked incredible in it, and it just, I don't know, man, there's something about it that, like, I've watched that trailer probably like 6 or 7 times now. I can't remember, like, outside of like Intergalactic, the Heretic Project, like this is the first. Those two are the only original IPs in the past few years that I've been like, oh, this is gonna be the sauce. This is gonna be it. Like, I feel like this is gonna be a really really big game when it does come out. Like I don't want to say like Elden Ring level big, but I do think this is gonna be a really big Souls like, kind of like Lies of P.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. It's the kind of thing that I really like the aesthetic of it, and I was like, if this wasn't a Souls-like, I'd be all over it.
Yeah. Well,
and
that's. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, even though not being a Souls-like fan, I can still appreciate something cool when I see it. And on that same note, they had a trailer for what was it, Lords of the Fallen 2, right?
Yeah, that, and I never. So, funnily enough, I never played the first one. And watching that trailer, I'm like, I kind of feel like I should go play the first one because this looks pretty. This looks pretty dope. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this looks really cool.
Lords of the Fallen 2 was one of the games I put on my list as well. It looked really fucking good.
The thing that piqued my interest about it the most, that I thought was kind of a unique concept, and I mean, I'm pretty sure this is what they're implying based off the visuals and dialogue in the trailer, is that when you die in this game, the world around you changes. Because it's like they say, when you fall, the world falls with you, and then you see the player character dying, and then the world goes from this like normal looking fantasy place to this like otherworldly hellscape, And it's kind of given me like, I think, wasn't there a Dark Souls game where anytime you died, you'd have to fight your way back from the afterlife in order to get, like, you'd lose half your health bar, and then you'd have to fight your way back to being alive in order to get the rest of your health bar back.
Yeah, I forget what game that is. I know what you're talking about, though.
Is it Demon Souls? Was it the first one?
It may have been. What's funny is I even though I know it's been free to play for the longest time, like, I don't know why I've never gotten around to Demon Souls. It's.
Oh, you mean the remake?
Yeah, like I never played the original one because I didn't get into Souls-like games until. Or Soulsborne until Dark Souls 3.
The first one was punishing because it was like, it's one of those games, it more roguelike than Dark Souls, honestly, but without the benefit of carrying over power-ups and shit, because like they didn't have the benefit of the bonfires. Then you would start a whole ass level over when you died in Demon Souls.
Fuck that.
I don't know if they changed that in the remake or not, though, but that's how it was in the PS3 version.
Yeah, I don't know if I got patience for that. I'm too old for that. Like, I enjoy this.
No, that's why I don't play roguelikes unless they're very...
No, I do not. I really do not. I'm trying to think of a roguelike game that I actually enjoy, but I've tried a fair amount, Hades and all of it, and
I can say Road 96, because it is roguelike adjacent, but it's more of like a you play as a nameless teenager that's trying to cross the border from the US into Canada, and basically, regardless of whether or not you make it, because your choices can lead to you like dying and stuff, regardless of whether or not you make it, the world around you continues to move forward, and you start again as another teenager, but you're not starting the game over, you're moving on to the next part in the timeline, because all the NPCs that you ran into as your first character, you will run into them again as your second character, and again as your third character, and again as your fourth, and each time their stories around you will have progressed and new things will be happening. So that I can get behind.
Yeah, I feel like the way that I feel about games like that is kind of like how turn-based RPG people feel about turn-based RPG games. Like, there's something about I'm like, Like, I'll try a roguelike, but
Well, that's what I'm saying. I can't stand roguelikes and I can't stand Soulsborns, but there are two exceptions to that. Road 96 is one that I actually liked, and I think people that don't normally like roguelikes would like it because it's more of a narrative-focused game.
Yeah.
And Final Fantasy Origin Stranger of Paradise was the exception for Soulsborne or Souls-like games, because that's, first of all, it's Final Fantasy, and secondly, it may play like a Souls-like, but it's not difficult like one. It's more action-focused and
Makes sense.
Accessible. It's just like the gameplay and the layout. Plus, Jedi Fallen Order is technically a Souls-like.
Yeah.
That was accessible to everybody. It's a Metroidvania Souls-like combo, but it's still, it follows
makes
the
sense.
same, bonfires respawn enemies and shit type thing on shortcuts.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, when they play like that, I can get behind it. It's just for me, it's the arbitrary difficulty of Souls-likes and roguelikes that make me not like them at the core versions of them. But
makes sense. What about
games that copy them? I do like, depending on the game.
Well, Justin, I mean, I talked about mine, and Nick talked about his. What was your biggest takeaway from ONL?
Yeah, so that's the thing. There wasn't exactly a new announcement that really stood out to me, like, oh, wowie zowie, that's the thing I'm putting on my Christmas list, like that, I didn't really have any of that. Not this time.
Not Bubsy 4D?
No, no. I mean, I thought that was cool, and it's on my list. And it was cool to see Lighthouse again. One of the things I wrote down was weird skateboarding train anime.
Oh,
game,
Dinch
I
Attack.
Remember the name of
Dinch Attack.
The name of it.
Dinch Attack looks so sick. Oh my god!
Yeah,
Honestly, that's in my top 3 of things I got most hyped about from Gamescom. Like,
it does look really weird. I'm in on it.
Hell yeah.
I want to grind a train.
That's exactly the kind of like nonsense acid trip game that I enjoy.
What's funny is when it first started, I was like, "Is this like a weird like retelling of like Crazy Taxi but bus version?" And then I was like, "No, we're doing kickflips and shit. I don't know what this is, but I know I'm in it." Like,
y'all want to hear something funny?
What's that?
I could see Sheldon Cooper playing that game.
Dinch Attack?
Oh, because of trains.
Because
Yeah.
trains, yes.
So, okay. So I did, like I said, I didn't really have anything that was like that big for me, because all the stuff that like I was most excited for was just seeing more of the stuff I already knew about. So the thing that I have the most to say about, though, is probably Resident Evil Requiem, just because that trailer. So I'm pretty sure that this new trailer we got was all in-engine, and it's obviously some kind of flashback scene or like prologue scene, because Grace is a child at this point. She's not working at the FBI yet. And it's, her mother seems to indicate, Alyssa from Resident Evil Outbreak, that someone is after her, and my theory is that they're hunting down survivors from Raccoon City. This game is taking us back to Raccoon City, the ruins of it, years later after it's been destroyed. And, something happens at the end of the trailer. They don't really show you what, but, like, she turns around and she's like, and, like, it cuts to black. And, we get another look at the hooded guy, and nobody knows who the hell that is yet. I do believe this entire game, they called it a gameplay trailer because even though it was a lot of cutscenes, it was all in-engine, happening in real time, in-engine. It wasn't like pre-rendered or anything. There were parts in that where they were actually moving the character and stuff. And that entire trailer was in first person, but the game will have the option for both in most parts of the game. But I think parts like that, I think, are going to be in first person regardless, because that's what I would call a scripted scene. It's very on rails. So the thing, though, is that coming out of Gamescom, more has been these hands-on previews for this game, where people have had a chance to play a demo that I hope eventually goes public, like previous ones did, where you play as Grace, and she's in this apartment complex, and she's being stalked by this giant creature enemy, which is the most horrifying stalker enemy that they've put in a Resident Evil game yet. Scarier than Mr. X, scarier than Nemesis, scarier than Jack Baker, scarier than Lady D. And the fetus monster. Yeah. I would say this one's even worse, because I don't know if you've seen pictures of this creepy old bitch, but man, it is something else. She looks
intense.
She looks a lot like Lisa Trevor from Resident Evil 1, and there's a lot of theories about it maybe is her, because if technically Lisa Trevor died in Umbrella Chronicles, but I would not be upset with them retconning the rail shooter games, honestly. That it's completely fine. Technically, they already retconned Darkside Chronicles by changing what happened in Project Javier in the Resident Evil 4 remake. So they're not against retconning their own shit, So I wouldn't be surprised to find Lisa Trevor survived the mansion exploding in Resident Evil 1, made her way to the ruins of Raccoon City and took refuge there, and then became bigger and stronger over time, maybe found some leftover T-virus laying around and, became more mutated. But the other theory is that the stalker monster could be Grace's mother, Alyssa, turned into a monster, thing is, though, we've seen almost nothing of this game so far. We've seen 2 trailers and the hands-on previews, and that's still barely scratching the surface, I guarantee you. To judge the game entirely off what little we've seen of it so far would be to judge Resident Evil 7 off the first half hour, you know? Because, like, the early stages of that game are no indication of what's coming later. You know, it seems like a modern horror game at first, and by the end of it, you have more guns than Rambo. So, I see this game, much like all the other Resident Evils, following that same formula. Let's start off spooky in the beginning, and then by the end of it, it's an action game again. So, and we have no way of knowing this is true or not, but a lot of people are still speculating that Leon is going to be in this as a secondary protagonist, and they're going to do that thing where one campaign is more spooky and the other campaign is more action-y. You know, so when you're playing as Grace, it'll be more horror-focused, and when you're playing as Leon, it'll be more action-focused. But, again, that's just a rumor, you know, but people are speculating. And, you know, I'm glad that they haven't confirmed any of that so far. I think less is more, and a lot of that stuff, you know, like, I bet you anything there'll be at least one more trailer at the Game Awards this year, because the game doesn't come out till February, but I hope they don't confirm one way or the other if Leon's in it. That should be a surprise for when the game actually comes out, if he is, you know. Let people think, just like with Resident Evil 7, that it's a traditional horror game until they actually play it, and then be surprised by the changes that happen as it goes. You know, that was one of the best things about that one. So, you know, Resident Evil has been known to pull the wool over people's eyes before. It's not the first time. And so I think, so all that stuff with the Stalker enemy that we've been seeing and all that so far, and I think that's going to be like very early, very, very early in the game. And once you get out of that, I think you're going to go into Raccoon City proper, and it's going to open up into kind of a more like open world type thing, maybe. That's another theory that's been going around. So people are speculating quite a bit off what little we've seen, but that's what I love about it. The less that, you know, I think they've learned from Kojima how to properly do a trailer, you know, show us enough to get us asking questions, but not so much that it gives everything away. Make us more confused the more we see. You know what I mean? More questions. That way, when we get them answered in the full game, it's like, yes! So, out of everything we saw, that's still the thing I'm probably looking forward to the most, you know. But, there are other things on my list worth mentioning. I wrote down Silent Hill F again because it was nice to see more of that again. A lot of people were worried that this was going to be a Souls-like Silent Hill game because of the combat. It's just regular action horror, man. It's like at this point, people are like, "Oh, it's got a dodge button. It's a Souls-like." Shut the fuck up. That's not what. It's not how it, you do. Do these people realize that Devil May Cry and shit precedes Souls-likes? Like, it's. You know, some of this combat comes from those games, too. No, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It is a little more action-heavy than I expect a Silent Hill game to be, but it's, you know, the fact that it takes place in Japan means that just the atmosphere alone is going to be fucking creepy, because Japan horror is horrifying sometimes. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
Hell yeah.
Do either of you want to talk about how Pac-Man is getting a crossover with the Sonic racing game?
Sonic Crossworlds?
Yeah, I mean,
hell yeah.
It looks good. It looks like it's a DLC you have to pay for, which I don't know how I feel about that. Because it's already
it's a dual game crossover though, because you're getting Pac-Man DLC in the Sonic game, and then you're getting Sonic DLC in the Pac-Man World 2 remaster.
Yeah, I mean, true, but it's already, I don't know, it's a $70 racing game already to begin with, and the fact that the game hasn't even come out and you're already coming out with paid DLC, I'm like, I'll wait for that to be like randomly like 50 or 75% off.
You know what? That's fair.
Like, and also, like, I don't know. Pac-Man's been around for so long that it just kind of feels like, whatever to me, and I feel like a monster for saying that. But like, I don't know. Like, how many things can we pick? We've had like a weird amount of Pac-Man related announcements over the past year with like a new Pac-Man game, a new Pac-Man Metroidvania horror game, now a Pac-Man DLC for this, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like, but that's me personally. I'm way more excited about being able to play as coming from the Yakuza universe in Sega games.
You know what? That's fair. That Pac-Man Metroidvania horror game, by the way, made for a great episode of Secret Level.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that's the thing. Like, if there is anything Pac-Man related, that Metroidvania is like the coolest thing for this year and all of that.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to be pessimistic. I was just like,
No. Be honest.
It was just like whenever
I'm not expecting you to kiss all these developers' asses.
Well, it's
that's
just
not.
Like, dude,
that's not genuine.
Like, I don't know. Like, I understand. Like, I would say, traditionally speaking, for all these different IPs, you have to pay a bunch of money for them. But like, pretty much all of them, with the exception of Steve, are within Sega, so they don't have to like ask for a license or anything like that. So it just, I don't know.
Fair.
We're gonna I don't want to champion Crossworlds for being a $70 game versus Mario Kart World that's an $80 game, and then before the game comes out, you slap on a paid DLC that is of a 50-year-old Namco creation. Like, meh.
Fair.
I'm still excited about Crossworlds. That just, I don't know why that annoyed me so much when I saw that. I'm like, okay, that's fine, I guess.
So, it's kind of funny. You guys obviously both know that, like, I don't really give much of a rat's ass about Call of Duty for the most part, but I did enjoy the campaign of Black Ops 6, I'm not gonna lie. It was the first one I played, and I was like, oh, this is less Saving Private Ryan, more Mission Impossible. Okay, this is like tactical espionage stuff.
Yeah.
Well, when I saw the trailer for 7 and I saw what they were doing with it, where they're like, you're having hallucinations that make
feels
the
more
world...
like it feels more like a shoot 'em up Inception. Like, it was, I don't like Call of Duty, but I'm like, that kind of looks cool, and I kind of hate myself for saying that.
Black Ops 7 does look pretty fucking cool, especially since they're traveling all the way 10 years into the fucking future.
Yeah, I doubt we'll have this tech 10 years in the future, but it's still a cool, like, concept, you know, like the wingsuits and all that, and then, like, but the whole, like, hallucinations thing during wartime, all that, Spec Ops The Line kind of did that already and kind of did it better. That game was about, like, PTSD that comes from war, and it handled it in a much more, like, there's this one scene in particular involving white phosphorus that I will never forget, ever. Like, that will stick with me for the rest of my life. But this game, this Black Ops 7, clearly the three of us are not the target demographic for these games because people are hating on this. And it's the same thing that happened when Infinite Warfare came out and they tried to be more futuristic and sci-fi. Your typical Call of Duty player does not want sci-fi, does not want futuristic, clearly, because they hated that and they're hating this. The trailer for this game is getting downvoted into oblivion.
Jesus Christ.
And it's not just like the normal, like, trendy Call of Duty hate. This is their loyal fan base being like, no, you're doing the future thing and you're having nuance and dealing with mental health and stuff like that. We don't want that. We just want shooty bang bang, you know, so they're, you know,
They're trying to appeal to a wider audience is what they're doing.
It's not war enough for them. Well, that's the thing, though, too, is that trying to appeal to a wider audience thing has kind of hurt them in the multiplayer because now everyone just accuses them of copying Fortnite. They got these skins for, like, Beavis and Butthead and Nicki Minaj and you know, and Snoop Dogg and all that. And I think I heard someone say on another podcast that a game for everyone is a game for no one. Which kind of makes sense when you think about it, you know. It depends on the game, but they were like... They used Helldivers 2 as an example of a game that is successful because it it did what it wanted to do and stuck to its guns, and that just drew in the right crowd for it, you know? Sometimes it is more successful to be niche, honestly.
Yeah.
But, yeah, yeah, but I don't care about the multiplayer anyways. I am interested in the campaign of this, though. You're right, though, that they're drawing in people who normally wouldn't play these games with this unique take on their campaigns, but at the same time alienating their usual fan base in the process.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of discourse on TikTok of people being like, perfect timing for Battlefield 6, and I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
Which is funny, too, because I'm pretty sure a Battlefield game came out at the same time as Infinite Warfare, and the same thing happened last time. Yeah, people are saying that Black Ops 7 is the perfect advertisement for Battlefield 6, because a lot of Call of Duty loyalists are like, well, I guess I'm getting Battlefield this time. But, I mean... But remember, this is Black Ops, though. This isn't Modern Warfare. Black Ops is supposed to be the more over-the-top one. It's the more gadgety sci-fi one. It's the espionage... It's the spy shit. That Black Ops is supposed to be that way. But they don't want that. They want, old-timey war shit, so that's why they're going to Battlefield instead. You can get your realism over there if you want. That's fine. Yep. I'm just interested in the story of this one. If it's on Game Pass, I will probably check it out, at least. I'll at least play a few hours of it, I'm not going to lie.
Makes sense.
Why don't y'all tell me about some more of the things on your lists that you wrote down? What other things in the showcase stood out to you?
Let's see.
As the token Souls fan of the trio, I feel like it would be weird if I did not mention anything about the new Black Myth game that's coming out.
Okay, yeah.
Listen, I love Black Myth Wukong. I thought it was excellent. Do I think it was the end all be all Souls game of everything? No, but do I think it was like graphically incredibly impressive, very smooth, and a lot of fun?
Clearly the king of Souls is Elden Ring, right?
Yes, absolutely, and I will fight anyone on that. Black Myth, and I feel like I'm gonna mispronounce this. I think it's pronounced Zhang Qi. I looked a little bit into the story of Zhang Qi, and apparently this is something that single-handedly destroyed 80,000 demons, and I'm like, what is this game about to be? Like, how many people am I about to fight? Because, like, Wukong was, like, it was straight up a boss rush, like, especially the second half of the game. It would be like, beat a boss, take 10 steps, another encounter of a boss, which I loved about it. I enjoy boss rush, especially in a Souls-like format, because it feels like I'm just getting nothing but sauce, and that's what I enjoy. We essentially just got like a straight like video trailer, no gameplay or really anything like that. We didn't get anything for like a release date, I believe. So I'm assuming this will probably be like a 2027 release date. But I feel like this one's going to be better just because that lead dev is out for blood after showing up to the Game Awards last year and walking away without Game of the Year, losing to Astrobot. He was clearly pissed about that, and he's going to make it a point in this next one. So I'm really excited about this.
Fair. Nick, what's on your list? Oh, sorry. Did you have more?
No, I was literally going to say also, Nick, what's on your list?
So one of the things that... Okay, so Justin knows how picky I am when it comes to anything having to do with zombies.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. I was about to say, picky. You were the king of 10 out of 10s, my boy. What do you mean?
When it comes to zombies, when it comes to zombies, I'm very picky because for the longest time, the zombies genre was extremely overhyped, and I was not having any of it.
No, you'd be surprised. Nick throws around 10s like they're going out of style, but like he will hate things or refuse to even try them for the most arbitrary, asinine reasons. Sometimes.
Excellent.
I really liked the gameplay style, or was this a trailer? Did they have any gameplay of this, or was this just a trailer? But when I
It
saw
was
the
gameplay. It was
announcement,
a gameplay trailer.
this was after seeing the gameplay for Long Gone. I think this is something that I could definitely see myself playing.
It's a comedic. Yeah, it's definitely got that comedic vibe. It gives me classic point and click adventure games where
Yes.
you're like Monkey Island type shit where it's funny, but like you have to find the right items and combine them with each other in order to get past the thing. Very Monkey Island, very Sam and Max,
Yes.
And I do enjoy those types of things. I think it might. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it might be a mobile game. But it could. I think it's on consoles too.
Yeah.
Because at this point, when I say mobile game, I just mean free to play for the most part.
Yeah.
Because most of them are also on consoles too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh no, go ahead. Were you gonna continue on that, Nick?
No, I actually had another one.
Go for it.
What's that?
Keeper.
Keeper looks cool.
It does look
I don't
really
remember this
cool.
one.
This was the one with
the
the lighthouse and the bird.
Yeah,
wasn't that not the game with the walking lighthouse, is it?
Yes.
That's just called Lighthouse, I think.
No, it's called Keeper.
The Double Fine game with the lighthouse that like grows legs and walks around the environment.
Yeah, it's called Keeper. I just looked it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's made by the same people that made Psychonauts 1 and 2. So it's got that kind of like Tim Burton-y-esque like animation style to it that I really love, dude. It looks really cool.
I'm fucking pumped for it.
Yeah.
Wow, for the longest time I thought this game was called Lighthouse.
Yeah. We still don't even know the name of the lighthouse. We're just referring to it as the lighthouse.
Because the first time we saw this was at SGF, I think.
I think so. I think you're right. Yeah, there was just more in depth on this one. No, that looks good. I feel like this is not going to be a surprise for anyone here. I am excited that there is finally a release date for the next DLC for KCD2, Legacy of the Forge.
No surprise.
Oh, dude! Legacy of the Forge has been just based off of the title of it. I'm like, and then being like, this one's going to be like circulating around blacksmithing. I knew this was going to be the DLC I was most hyped about everything. Brushes with Death was fine. This one, I get to make my own little blacksmith shop in Kuttenberg and design it how I see fit, and I get a bunch of new things to be able to craft in blacksmithing. This is blacksmithing in KCD alongside playing dice in KCD. That is my definition of a cozy game. That is my Animal Crossing. Dude, I am so hyped. The only thing is, so I know I shared that my friend Jake was here in town for Comic-Con. He really wanted to learn about KCD and wanted to play it for himself. And KCD only lets you have two different separate save files, and I had my regular one that was fully completed, and then my other one was my hardcore run that I've been just kind of slowly going through here and there. And I deleted my complete regular version of it so that way he could start a fresh campaign on it. And I forgot about DLC. So, and I'm like 15, 20 hours into the hardcore version of it, and I looked at Sam and I was like, I have bad news and I have worse news for you. And she goes, oh God, what? And I was like, the bad news for you is September 9th is the release date of the new DLC for KCD2. And she goes, oh, fuck, here we go again. And I was
this is like literally one of the reasons why I have a guest account profile on the
I've created one since then. And I looked at it, I was like, the worst news is, do you remember when Jake was here and he wanted to play and she goes, oh shit, you deleted your save file, you idiot. Like, yeah.
Is your old file still in the Plus cloud?
Ooh, I don't know.
Or would have been overwritten by the more recent save at this point.
Probably, but I don't know. I will check and I will report back on. I will report back to y'all. Because if that's the case, oh man, you just saved me about 100 hours of my life.
Because because those saves do auto upload to the cloud for Plus, but like not always. So it might be worth looking. Well, if the one online is older.
Yeah, well, because I was using the cloud quite a bit for KCD because there's a PlayStation out in the living room area, and so sometimes I'll play in the living room, sometimes in the bedroom. So maybe I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check later.
So you guys know me. Horror guy. Obviously, I was excited to see more of Chronos New Dawn, Bloober Team's next game, which is their first horror game. Original horror game with combat. Their first original horror game with combat, because Silent Hill 2 is a remake. Yeah. But they did Layers of Fear, Observer, The Medium, and Blair Witch. And none of those really had combat, per se. Not to the degree that this does. This looks like it's heavily Dead Space inspired, and I'm here for it. The more I see, the more excited I am. And it's coming soon, actually. It's like right around the corner. Like next month, I think. But there was a game that they had shown, I think the last time I'd seen it was sometime last year, either at Summer Game Fest or the Game Awards or something, that they showed very little of, but I distinctly remember it being about like angry robots and having photorealistic visuals. We saw more of it this time. It's called Routine. And I am 100% in on this. Like, the way that they do the graphics in this one, it looks almost real. It looks like when you're watching that trailer, it looks like you're watching a found footage movie. Quite frankly,
hell yeah.
I like that aesthetic that they put over it, that like old timey filter that they're going for. So I have absolutely no idea what that game is or what it's about. I can just tell that it's like kind of like retro futuristic, and you are like underground. Like it looked like an abandoned subway, and you're trying to avoid these angry robots. That's what I got out of it. But I'm here for it. That was one of the things on my list. I also wanted to mention Swords of Legends. This stood out to me because it was one of those games where when you first see the trailer, some people will probably assume it's a Souls-like, but when you look up the details later, they confirmed it is a single-player action RPG where based in Chinese mythology. And I am excited for that because it looks like... It does kind of look like a Souls-like. The monsters make it look like a Souls-like a little bit. But, like, when you look it up online, they're like, oh, no, this is, like, Nier Automata. This is just, like... Big enemies doesn't always mean Souls-like. This is an action game, like an action RPG through and through. So, I'm interested in that one. It seemed like the kind of thing you might like, too, Brooksy, honestly.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%. No, it looks really, really good. I'm pretty hyped about it. What I will say that I do think is really funny is of all the talks that we've had, we still haven't even touched on probably the most anticipated game to be pump fake announced for the past, 4 years? That being Hollow Knight Silksong.
They did show some more gameplay for that.
Yes, and we do officially, as of this morning, have a release date for Silksong. It's September 4th, man. It's 2 weeks away from now. I'm sure Ryan is somewhere at least semi kicking heels right now, like with excitement and all of that. I watched the full trailer for it. It looks incredible. I've tried playing through Hollow Knight. I'm normally not a big side scroller person. I've probably put in three or 4 hours.
This one is Hollow Knight's a Metroidvania. I think when I think side scroller, I think Mario. Strictly left to right. Metroidvanias are though like all over, up, down, left, right, all back right. To the you got to backtrack to get shit you couldn't before, that kind of thing. Whereas side scrollers are linear. Side scrollers are linear 2D, whereas Metroidvanias are open world 2D. That's
fair. I've always thought Metroidvania was kind of like, I don't know, like lose everything until the next save point. But the name comes from a combination of Metroid and Castlevania. That makes sense. But I've only played a few hours of Hollow Knight. I've heard it's absolutely incredible. I don't know why I haven't stuck to it. I guess I also am just not super crazy on Metroidvanias myself. But it looks really cool. It looks really cool.
Side scrollers apparently.
Or side scrollers, yeah. Neither of them. Boo. But
he said Mario and Sackboy can both eat it.
I mean, what's funny is, I'm not the craziest fan of Little Big Planet. I think it's an adorably cute game, but and I love the first one, but 2 and 3 were and
Fair enough.
Sackboy itself was, I played 2 or 3 hours because it was on PlayStation Plus, but
But Little Big Planet 2 was the best one in the trilogy, but that's a conversation for another day.
That's for a whole other day. I will say, and again, sorry, Souls guy. I am very excited about the Shadows Die Twice anime. They've rumored it. They've rumored it for years. I know this is not game, but it was an ONL. I know it's man. It just looks sick. It just looks really, really, really fucking cool. I'm a sucker for I'm a sucker for a good anime, and a cross between a game and putting it into an anime format. I enjoyed the Persona anime. I loved Edge Runners. So no, I'm already sunk in for Shadows Die Twice.
Fair enough. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, speaking of the video game-based media, how did you feel about that Fallout Season 2 trailer?
Whoa, we got a Deathclaw! And I can't wait to see the full Deathclaw. I'm fine with the face, but I want to see the whole thing.
How do you feel about,
season.
Yeah, you definitely should. So, I love how this TV show is canonical to the Fallout canon, to the Fallout lore, but it's an original story so that it fits into that lore nicely without, breaking continuity, But people are wondering how much they're going to tread that line now that they're going to New Vegas.
I'm curious about it myself.
They said that there's a character from the game in Season 2 of the show.
Yeah, I'm curious if it's the Mr. Whatever, the bad guy.
Yeah.
The floating computer head. That guy.
Mr. Ominous, Mr. Shadow Name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
The elusive man.
Yeah. I don't know. And that's the thing is I mean, it feels cliche to say that New Vegas is my favorite Fallout game, but it is. Oblivion fucking knocked the socks off of that one.
Obsidian,
not Oblivion. I'm just
I
thinking
did that
of
the
Bethesda.
other day too.
I'm thinking of Bethesda because that's where they originally. Whatever.
And I've said it once, and I'll say it again. Obsidian makes better Bethesda games than Bethesda.
Yeah, that's fair. Speaking of which, I'm surprised.
Outer Worlds.
I was going to say
Outer Worlds fucking blows Fallout out of the water.
I'm surprised you haven't said anything about Outer Worlds 2, because they talked about that extensively too.
Yeah, we got more Ben Starr, and we got another trailer for it. Look, I'm already sold. They had me They had me at, we did anti-capitalism humor in the first game. You could have just given me a fucking title that said Outer Worlds 2 and I would already be in on it. I didn't need to see anything else.
Yeah.
And for a while there, that's all it was. The first, at like the Game Awards a couple of years ago, we got a teaser. Outer Worlds 2 coming whenever it's ready. That's it. That's all it said. And I was like, well, I'm in, like 100%. Like the first one made my top 10 games of the year list that year. I was like, this is Mass Effect. Mass Effect meets Fallout meets Borderlands with anti-capitalism humor. Like this is, I love it. I love everything about it.
Yeah.
It's better than Fallout because you have companions. That's why I like Avowed more than Elder Scrolls too.
Yeah,
it's
fair.
the companions. Like, having a party makes it feel more like a traditional RPG, and it makes all the difference to me versus this, like, lone wolf shit that the other Bethesda games do, Which is fine in certain games, but, like, Fallout 3 I've tried and failed to get, like, further than, like, the first city numerous times. Like, I've started that game, like, 20 different times, and about 3 hours in, I just give up every single time. It's so boring. I can't stand it. It's just endless nothing for miles. So, and that's crazy coming from someone who loves Death Stranding, but that's a different kind of endless nothing. That's the good kind.
Yeah.
It's endless nothing broken up by occasional weather hazards and ghost monsters trying to kill you. This endless, I don't know, it's very dry. It's the same reason I couldn't get into Final Fantasy VIII. There's just something very, like, bland feeling about it. You know what I mean? It's hard to put into words. Dry is a weird thing to call a video game, but it's the tone, the atmosphere, It's just, I've had a hard time vibing with it, but like you, I like New Vegas too. Like I've played more of New Vegas, but even in that one, eventually I get to a point where I'm like, man, I don't know what it is about the Fallout games, but this shit just does not resonate with me. But the Outer Worlds did. The Outer Worlds resonated with me, and it's technically the same gameplay. But
New Vegas is quite, like, I don't know the last time you played it, but I played a little bit of it last year, and I'm like, man. This is aged like a bottle of kombucha out in the sun. This is not good. Yeah, that's a California joke for you. Yeah, it is not. It's not what it used to be, man. That is a game that I genuinely hope to see one day get fully remastered.
No, I'm trying to see if I have enough time to squeeze in a quick Outer Worlds replay before the new one comes out. Yeah. But the thing is, I'm trying to do that with Ghost of Tsushima too, and I don't think I can do both. I don't know if I can do both.
No, I get it, because that's the thing is, like, I'm honestly like, do you know how long Hollow Knight is?
I don't know. Metroidvania is like well, let's ask how long to beat.
Yes.
The official source of knowing these things. How long to beat Hollow Knight? It is, according to them, main story without doing extras or completionist is about 27 hours.
Okay. That's not, well, maybe I could get it done. Well, because I've got, next week is Lost Souls Aside, which I'm so hyped for. But I finished Mafia: The Old Country, so I'm like, what do I play between then?
Fair. Speaking of things that are Souls-like, but not really, there's a demo for Hell Is Us on the PlayStation.
Oh, I played it. Yeah, I did too.
What did you think?
I don't know yet.
It's not. It's like. It wants to play in the Souls-like sandbox, but it's not quite. But it doesn't want to fully dedicate itself to being a Souls-like.
Like it's got the
feels more like an action game than a Souls-like.
It plays like an action game, but you have the stamina and health of a Souls game. But when you die, whatever you killed is already dead when you get revived. So like,
yep. And you can heal yourself in the middle of combat by absorbing the particles that fall off the enemies.
as long as you time it right and all of that. Honestly, like, I thought it was really cool. I don't know if I'm sold on the story quite yet.
I am. I have a lot of questions.
It was like, I feel like I'm like I'm a picky bastard because I'm normally not like a sci-fi person. This is more in the sci-fi realm than it is in a fantasy realm.
Yeah, but not like pew pew space laser.
Yeah, it's not pew pew space laser though. I agree with you.
This is more like Metal Gear Solid tech. If anything.
Like and honestly, I kept laughing because it felt like I was fighting the villain in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
They do look like that.
The Spot, like it literally just looks like a bunch of variations of the Spot that I'm fighting, and so it made me laugh, which I'm like, I don't think I'm supposed to be laughing in these tense moments.
Well, and also the game says that we won't hold your hand on directions. You got to figure it out and stuff, but then it's still pretty linear, anyways. It's very obvious. Like follow the wind chimes. Like a 2-year-old could have figured that out. You know?
Yeah. Like the only thing I could foresee it being like a problem or anything like that is like I normally reserve playing video games on the weekend, and like I'll maybe play like 1 or 2 nights throughout work days. But like after not playing a game for like 5 days, and I'll sit down and boot it up, I'm like, all right, what was I doing again? And so like that's the only hurdle I think I'll come across for Hell Is Us is not remembering who I talked to last and where I was heading and all of that. But again, it still feels pretty linear, at least through the demo. Because did you finish the demo?
Yeah, and I think that they just wanted to focus on combat and atmosphere here. I think the main game will have more open world sections. I think, like, because it seems like it's going to open up a bit once you reach that swamp, but that's also where the demo ends. So, not a very long demo, but I want more demos like this. This is exactly the kind of like bite size, like gives me enough to know what it is, but not so much to give too much away kind of experience that like gets you.
I would love for games to go. I would love for devs to bring demos back because like that's honestly that's how I used to pick my games. Is I don't know if you guys got Game Informer magazine way back when, like in the early 2000s. It would come with a disc that would have...
Or PlayStation Underground.
Yeah, or that's what I'm thinking of, actually, is PlayStation Underground, where it would give you a demo disc of a game with each magazine that you got, and like... it would
not just a game. They would give you a demo disc that had like 20 different demos on it.
Yeah, and like, and it was sick. It was sick, because I would get to try all these different games and see which one I actually liked and would bug my mom about. Like,
Yep. I remember having a demo disc that had demos for like Spyro and Crash and Resident Evil and Tomb Raider all on the same disc.
Yep, like that. Yeah, we need to bring that back.
Yes, that would be great. But no, as someone who's usually not good at these kind of things, like Hell Is Us, I played the demo on normal, and I didn't struggle too bad. I never lost more than half a health bar, quite frankly. And the trick is to send the drone out to distract them, and then charge up your dual axe attack. You'll basically take down their whole health bar in one hit.
I never even used the axe when I played through mine. I just used the sword the entire time and kept leveling it up.
Oh, the axes are so superior to the sword. So superior. I love them. They swing faster too. I think that's my thing. I like light, fast weapons. I don't like heavy, strong ones.
Oh, I didn't realize that so normally axes are typically a heavy weapon, so that's why I
No. It's a dual. No, it's not a two-handed axe. It's a dual-wield weapon. You have two.
Oh, okay.
You have two small hatchets. It's two small hatchets, one in each hand, a rogue.
The demo's only like half an hour long. I may just go play it again. I may go play it again just to see that, because I'm very much, whenever I play RPGs like Elden Ring or something like that, I'm very much someone who builds. I like building dex builds. I like building like really fast attacks and quick dodges and stuff like that. So that's why I stuck with a sword, because I just assumed that was going to be faster than the axe. Noted.
Yeah, I like the demo enough to put it in my GameFly queue, and I like the demo enough to actually like not just fly through it, but I actually went and tried to find some of those like door emblems to find the secret shit too. You know? Like I actually went around those trenches and found hidden stuff. So I thought that was cool. But yeah, on that note though, anything else from opening night live that you guys want to mention? Any thoughts on like Deadpool VR or Zero Parades or anything from you guys?
No, the only other thing I would probably mention for me personally is I guess two things. One, I'm surprised you didn't mention anything about the Indiana Jones DLC, and then the other thing is I
keep forgetting about that. Also, I have Indiana Jones through Game Pass, and so if I have to pay for that DLC, then I'm not doing that because I don't own the game.
Yeah, you get it. My Crossroads doesn't seem so crazy now, doesn't it?
But then, no. Well, here's the thing. Though, and maybe I'm a little spoiled now, but when Persona 3 Reload, which just left Game Pass, but when it was on Game Pass, when they released the DLC for it, the story DLC episode, I guess, it was a free perk for Game Pass members. So that's how they should do it. Like, if you're gonna put a story-focused game on Game Pass and you're gonna add story-based DLC to it, then you need to make that shit free too.
Yeah, listen, makes sense to me, man. No, the only other thing I was gonna mention is, I mean, we got the announcement at TGA last year, but to get to actually see a gameplay trailer for Onimusha Way of the Sword, man, we're so back. Like, I love Onimusha. Like, I loved Onimusha playing it back in the day. This looks like a return to form. I'm so happy to see these, like not a Souls-like, but like just a challenging-esque, like, hack and slash game. And it's Onimusha's not really fully hack and slash like Ninja Gaiden, but like but it's not like a Souls, like it's something kind of in between. It looks really good, and I'm really hyped for it.
I've never played the other ones, but I've heard good things, and this does look good. I heard that there is like a remaster of the first game called like Blood something. I can't remember the.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I also heard it wasn't ported super duper well. But I mean, like, because that's the thing is, I haven't played Onimusha since I was in like, oh god, middle school, high school, somewhere around there. So it'll be, I'm just going in being like, I remember this world. Then that's kind of it. Like, I'll figure it out as I go.
I think Zero Parades was an anime game. I know I wrote that one down. A lot of them I skipped over because a lot of those games that we saw, to me, they weren't like actually part of the show. They were like commercials while they were setting up the next announcement, you know?
Yep,
and
I would agree.
That's what a lot of that mobile game stuff that we saw was. Like, literally, I saw at least 7 different games that all looked like the exact same free-to-play anime game.
Yeah.
But Zero Parades, for some reason, stood out to me enough to write it down, but now I don't remember what it was, to be honest with you. And then I did write down Deadpool VR, even though I don't have a MetaQuest 3, but if I did, I would play the fuck out of this game, quite frankly. I definitely would. Any other thoughts, Nick, from you? Anything else on your list that we didn't get to you want to talk about?
I had 2 more things on my list. First, I want to start with Death by Scrolling.
Oh, yeah. That's a roguelike, I think. But it is a unique concept.
So after playing through The Plucky Squire, I fell in love. I that rekindled my love for games like this.
Fair enough. That was a great game.
Yeah,
this one seems to be like... This one does seem to be more in the vein of like Vampire Survivors, though, but with the gimmick being that you are constantly... The screen is constantly moving, and you have to move with it or die. Kind of like some levels in classic Mario games.
Mm-hmm. The other one isn't necessarily the game, more so just the trailer. The He-Man trailer, it just reminded me of something straight out of the fucking 90s.
Yeah, it is an arcade beat 'em up game, like that old Simpsons arcade game and Scott Pilgrim and all them.
I meant like the setup for it. Like you were it looked like something that like you're sitting down on a in front of the TV on a Saturday morning when you're a kid, and you see something like that come on your TV, and you're like, just all the reactions in the trailer itself just
Yep.
screamed the '90s call. They want their trailers back.
Yeah. No, it's definitely an intentional aesthetic because it was it was a Saturday morning cartoon back in the day.
It really was, yeah.
He-Man and Skeletor, Yikes.
But if I'm being honest,
Castle Grayskull will be mine, He-Man.
If I'm being honest, though, that was probably something that would have played in the '80s too.
I think it was the '80s. I do think He-Man is an '80s cartoon because I think Seth MacFarlane grew up watching it. It was the '80s or the '90s. Could have been both. Late '80s, early '90s too.
It reminded me something straight out of my childhood.
Yes. All right. I think that pretty much covers it for opening night live. I guess it's worth mentioning that Monster Hunter Wilds is getting a crossover with Final Fantasy XIV. Not the first time they've done this. Yeah, you get chocobos in Monster Hunter to ride around on. It's pretty neat. Yeah. Like I said, though, not the first time they've done it, but yes. All right, so to close us out here, there was another thing. Oh, and by the way, since you brought up Silksong, Brooksy, I guess just to mention, another thing happened today, and any gaming news that happens right now is basically part of Gamescom. They announced a Mega Evolution for Victory Bell in Pokemon ZA.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
what a weird choice.
Yeah, and it looks fucking wild.
It's got, like, the hell is that? I just Googled it.
Oh, did you look it up?
What is that?
It's got, like, the tiniest little head, and then it's just, its whole body is just a big fucking, like, flump. It's like the Pokemon version of that South Park episode where they all got cancer and bounced around on their big balls. Like, it is absolutely horrifying. And the trailer has it like these other Pokemon are running away from it, and it's just like chasing them by going fa-blump, 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 just like jumping one spot at a time. Oh, it's like being chased by a giant beanbag.
I kind of want to protect it. Like, don't talk. Don't talk to me or my son ever again. Is the vibe that I want to protect this Victory Bell with.
It's crazy. And it's funny because, like, they teased this announcement with, like, a horror setup, and, like, the actual announcement trailer for it had these, like, trainers going through this, like, spooky house being jump scared by, like, different Pokemon, like Spinarak and Haunter. And then they're like, there's a weird sweet smell coming from here. We're trying to find the source of it, and it turns out to be this new Victory Bell evolution. So, kind of a weird Pokemon choice for a horror setup, but whatever.
Okay.
You know. And I guess it's worth mentioning, I don't know if y'all remember how during E3, PlayStation used to have these, like, live streams from the show floor where they would, like, pull developers up and do interviews with them in front of the TV. They'd sit on the couch, and they would be, like, 3-day-long live stream that they would do directly from the floor. Xbox has been doing that at Gamescom. On their channel, you can find they've got, like two 4.5-hour live streams directly from the Gamescom show floor of them doing, like, interviews with developers and shit like that. So, you know, maybe worth skimming through if there's anything in there that catches your fancy. Anybody they were talking to that you want to hear more from. I think they clip a lot of those interviews separately, too. So, I think tomorrow, at the time of recording this, I think tomorrow is the last day of Gamescom. So, the show floor. But Future Game Show did have another showcase that I'm just going to very quickly go over their announcements. And if there's any of these you guys want to talk about, stop me, and we'll talk about it. But I just have a list here. They announced it was hosted, by the way, by the voice actors behind Solid Snake and Lady Dimitrescu this time. So it's always voice actors hosting the Future Game Show, and they do one they do one for every season of the year. So
nice.
So they announced a new Hell Let Loose game, Hell Let Loose Vietnam, World War II tactical shooter. Edge of Memories. They released a new trailer for it. It's a anime-inspired JRPG coming to PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. It looks, you had me at JRPG. If it's a JRPG, I'll try it. I like that stuff. Den of Wolves. They announced Den of Wolves is a cyberpunk heist shooter from Co-op Maestro's 10 Chambers. It's a high-octane gameplay. They had a high-octane gameplay trailer that showed off the gameplay for it. Basically, it's like a cyberpunk version of Payday, is the vibe I'm getting. New skate game. You guys are the skateboarding guys. Do either of you have thoughts on that?
I tend to lean more towards the Tony Hawk games.
Fair enough.
I am very much a big fan of skate. I am actually currently playing the pre-alpha right now. I did get access to it, but I had to fill out or agree to terms and conditions that I'm not allowed to talk about it on media. So
fair enough.
I will say that it is a game that exists and will be coming out at some point.
Fair enough. I look forward to hearing your full review when the embargo lifts.
Yeah, me too.
All right, we have 1348 Ex Voto, which is a third-person action-adventure game about an odyssey of honor and justice across the 14th century Italy. And it's got kind of like a Mulan vibe because you're playing as this woman that is like blending in among these other soldiers. I'm interested in it. Like I recommend watching the trailer for this one. Brooksy, I think you would be interested in this one too.
Yeah, I'm looking at 14th century Italy. I love a good peasant sim.
It's such a weird name though. 1348 Ex Voto.
I love that haircut.
There was more Resident Evil Requiem. They did just basically a short interview with the developers, just giving more details about the game. A lot of stuff I already covered. Goddess of Victory, Nike x Capcom.
I got nothing.
Nope.
Okay, so it says Jill Valentine is joining the fight in Shift Up's mobile shooter Goddess of Victory Nike. It's an official... Okay, so it's just like Jill Valentine is going to be a character in a mobile game. Before I forget to, I see an ad here, by the way. I don't know, I doubt either of you really care much about this, but isn't it crazy that World of Warcraft is still going? I forgot that we got like a trailer for a new expansion at Opening Night Live.
Checked out when they were talking about World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
my MMORPGs are not my cup of tea.
I
get it.
My stepdad played a lot of WoW way back in the day, and we're not. I wouldn't call my stepdad and I besties. So I really I never paid attention to it, and really my only on-hand knowledge is Make Love Not Warcraft from South Park.
Yes, that was one of my favorite episodes.
Yep.
And it's funny because Trey famously hates that episode. He thinks it's one of the worst ones they've ever done, and fans think it's like the best one they've ever done. So
yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, so it's crazy because the stuff that your fan base likes is usually the stuff of yours that you hate the most. A lot of musicians have that. Their most popular songs are the ones that they actually think are their worst.
Oh yeah, no, I was reading something about how Rise Against, Prayer was not going to be on the album originally. He absolutely hated the song, and it's the most popular song that they have. But anyways, sorry.
I just thought it was worth mentioning that WoW is still around because that game has staying power. I'm not a big MMO person either, but if it didn't cost $15 a month, I would play Final Fantasy 14. It's because it's Final Fantasy. I feel like I'm missing out on something, I also forgot that there was another Warhammer, the fourth game in the Dawn of War series for Warhammer. Speaking of Hell Is Us, the Future Game Show had a new story trailer for Hell Is Us as well. I'll have to look that up because since I enjoyed that demo, I'd be interested in seeing it. The Blood of Dawnwalker. Let's see. This is Rebel Wolf's vampire-infused action RPG. I thought maybe this was another Vampire the Masquerade game, but no. But a vampire-infused action RPG sounds fun to me, because that's basically what Don't Nod's Vampire game was, and I really enjoyed that. So, that's on my list. There's a game called Deer and Boy that they showed. It's a cinematic puzzle platformer. It looks like a cute little indie game. It's a cinematic adventure about a boy who forges an unexpected bond with an adorable fawn.
Aww.
Dark Switch. It's a vertical city builder game. Something that they showed. Lost Rift is an upcoming archipelago survival shooter, and from the developer People Can Fly. I think I have heard of this. It's a survival shooter where you're trying to survive not only other people but also the elements. That reminds me, what was that thing that we saw? Was it at Opening Night Live? It was a PvE game, right? Where it's players versus monster.
Oh.
And sometimes you become the monster. All the cutscenes had like that girl sitting there she was sitting there on the Oh, maybe it was this. I do think I actually saw this trailer. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was this. Maybe it was Lost Rift. Yeah, this is it. This is the PvE game. I thought it was at Opening Night Live, but if you guys don't remember it, then obviously it wasn't. No, because I remember this trailer. The girl is sitting there and she's having like a therapy session and she's like recalling what happened, and she goes into this mansion and there's like these other people there, and she's shooting them like you would in any multiplayer shooter. But then they get into this basement area and this like puppet mask starts to fuse together with this other shit and come to life, and it becomes this giant monster, this giant creepy monster they have to fight. And like later in the trailer, she becomes a monster too. So, but they said that it's a PvPvE game, so it's like it's kind of like that Predator game where it's two teams, like it's a deathmatch game, 5v5, but then there's also a monster running around that you have to worry about on top of the other players, So, and I thought that was kind of cool. I'm like, this has been done before, obviously, with that Predator game, but the way they're doing it in this game, Lost Rift, actually looks really interesting to me. Yeah, because I did start to watch this stream, but I wasn't able to finish it, so I did see that. But then we have Eversiege Untold Ages, which is a top-down action strategy roguelike. Monsters Are Coming, Rock and Road, which is a genre-bending roguelite where you defend a mobile tower from relentless hordes of enemies, so it's kind of like tower defense roguelite. Dreams of Another. It's a third-person shooter themed around creative destruction. Oh, I've seen this before. I think I've seen this before. We've seen something like this before at Summer Game Fest or something. I remember this. Like, he's, like, shooting things and they all turn into, like, little blocky pixels and stuff. 1Z3, The Zodiac Trials. It's a hack-and-slash roguelike. A lot of roguelikes here. Pizza Bandit is a cooperative third-person shooter where players hunt bounties while perfecting the art of pizza making at the same time. That's interesting. I don't think I ever had bounty hunting game where you also make pizza on my bingo card. Why does that sound like a movie A24 would make? Like the bounty hunting pizza man.
Would watch.
What'd you say?
I said would watch.
Oh, yeah. Recur, a gameplay trailer for Recur. It's it's a side-scrolling puzzler where you move backwards and forwards to control the flow of time. Oh, so kind of like Braid. Okay, I'm glad we're getting another one of those.
There's a lot of
Servant of the Lake. Yeah, Servant of the Lake. It's a indie puzzle. Let's see. It's a Eerie Odyssey. From what I can tell, it's basically like a spooky Oregon Trail, indie game type. Hyper Light Breaker. This is the next game in the series of people who made the game Hyper Light Drifter, which I really enjoyed. It was on Game Pass for a while. Talk about surfing through the sand. Man, that one was, woof. I enjoyed that. BMP Bit Crushed. It's the next game from BMP Bullets Per Minute creators. It's called BMP Bit Crushed. It's a pixel art roguelite rhythm shooter where you can battle to the beat of your own imported music. Coming to PC and consoles. Hotel Barcelona is a, a slasher roguelike. Seven Deadly Sins Origin, an anime game based on the anime of the same name. Chronos The New Dawn we saw again. Town to City, another city builder game. Fellowship, a what do you call those? Dungeon crawler, basically. A cooperative PvE RPG. Dome Keeper, a tactical digging roguelike. Disc County, a life simulator where you manage a small town supermarket and find yourself caught up in charming, in the charming drama of the people around you. Tormented Souls 2, get ready to tackle complex puzzles and terrifying beasts as an action-packed release date trailer for the Tormented Souls 2 revealed that the survival horror adventure is coming to PlayStation, Xbox, and PC October 23rd. Gods, Deaths, and Reapers, which is an action RPG infused with innovative extraction mechanics.
Hell yeah.
So, multiplayer. Styx, Blades of Greed. Styx is a stealth series. It's about a goblin. He plays a little goblin named Styx. And it's like one of the only true stealth series that we've had since Siphon Filter. Yeah, American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Road Kings. All I could think when I saw that trailer was driving fast in the rain is probably not a good idea. Let's see. Let's see. Mountain Blade 2, Bannerlord Ward Sales DLC. Wild Blue looks really cool. It's like an airplane game, but it's like really cartoony. Windstorm, The Legend of Kimori. I'm interested in this one. It looks heavily Ghost of Tsushima inspired, and I'm willing to give it a go. It definitely has that kind of vibe to it. Bounty Star. Toa and the Guardians of the Sacred Tree, got more updates on that. That was like a roguelike that they announced back at Summer Game Fest that I remember Ryan saying he was interested in. Shape of Dreams, a MOBA roguelike fusion. Reach, a reality-jumping VR adventure by End Dreams, of all people. Little Nightmares 3! I'm excited for this. I'm looking forward to it, especially because this one is being made by Supermassive Games, of all people.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Lost Hellden, a story-rich JRPG with a unique hand-printed art style, which, again, JRPG, that's all me. I love it. And I love a unique hand-drawn art style, too. Hand-painted, not just drawn, but like watercolor painting. Serial World, roguelike deck builder game. Phantom Blade Zero, which is a Kung Fu Souls-like, Brooksy.
Yeah.
Is Phantom Blade Zero on your radar?
It wasn't until you just mentioned it.
Did you not see this at the Game Awards last year?
I feel
or
like
was it Summer Game Fest this year?
Maybe it was.
I know this ain't the first we've heard of it.
There's a lot of Souls. There's a lot of Souls-like games coming out. That's been the big trope lately, which I'm not upset because it feels like I eat every few months.
A Kung Fu Souls like where you play as an elite assassin. Is it? Let's see. Witchspire is a magic-infused survival game where you play as a witch, but it's like really cartoony. Active Matter, mind-bending extraction shooter. Pragmata, I'm excited for this. Yeah, got to see more of that. It's a puzzle hacking action game from Capcom. We saw more of it at Summer Game Fest. It's been on my radar since it was first announced years ago. And finally, probably one of the biggest things to come out of this, and I know Nick is excited for this. He was talking about it earlier. Halloween, the game.
Yes.
Which was their big thing. This is a immersive, stealth-based horror game based on the beloved John Carpenter movie from 1978. I thought it was going to be an asynchronous multiplayer game like Texas Chainsaw and Friday the 13th and Dead by Daylight, but apparently not.
No, I like the way this game plays. I am here for it 100%.
I didn't realize it was going to be a stealth-based game. That has my interest.
I would want to slash through the town of Haddonfield as Michael Myers.
Oh, I bet.
Hell yeah.
You watched the trailer? Did it seem to indicate that you play as Michael Myers at all in this?
So what it does is it does. You can play as Michael Myers and slash through the town of Haddonfield one by one, or you can play as the citizens of Haddonfield and try to evade Michael Myers. So you can play it from both sides.
Ooh. So wait, is it single player or multiplayer then?
It's single player and multiplayer.
Okay, I think I'm more interested now. I definitely like to give this a go. What do you think, Brooksy? How does this sound to you?
Honestly,
you a Michael Myers fan?
I am a Michael Myers fan. Honestly, I need to watch the trailer for it. It does sound really cool. I really want to watch it first.
Fair enough. All right then.
It looks really fucking good.
Yeah, I haven't heard I haven't seen the trailer either, but just from what I'm hearing, not only what you just said, but they were talking about it on the What Culture Gaming podcast too, and all that. So, and this was probably the biggest, I don't know if maybe the biggest, but the most talked about announcement from Future Game Show that I've seen on the internet.
Yeah,
that they had. So. I've seen articles about it all over the place.
I would fucking hope so. It's Michael Myers. He's finally getting his own game.
Yeah. Actually, I would be very interested. I would be very interested in hearing Dead Meat's thoughts on this or watching them play it.
Oh, hell yeah.
They do that. They do that sometimes.
Oh, yes.
All right. Well, then. That will basically wrap it up for the Gamescom discussion. We covered Opening Night Live and the Future Game Show, and any other noteworthy news that's come out, like Silksong. Do you guys have any closing thoughts on this year's Gamescom overall?
Honestly,
fair.
First time watching Gamescom, I've usually just kind of seen what's rolled in. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Wish it was here in the U.S., but also understand why it's not.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure one of these years you'll message us and be like, hey guys, so I'm flying to Germany for Gamescom this year.
Only reason why I do cool shit is because it's always in California where I live.
Yeah. Fair. Yeah. Well, don't forget, we also have Tokyo Game Show coming up at some point here, too, soon. That should be... those definitely focus on more Japanese-developed games, but there's always something there. We have gotten, in the past, we've gotten news for Resident Evil, Devil May Cry, Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, stuff like that out of their PlayStation games, depending on the developer, so... Tokyo Game Show, we might not do full coverage on it, but it'll be worth keeping an eye on just in case there's something big announced or talked about whenever that hits. So, because there has been big things that have come out of it before. So, but outside of that, though, the next big thing will be the Game Awards in December, which they confirmed will be December 11th. So mark your calendars now.
Oh no!
Because that's
Brooksy, are you going again this year?
Oh, absolutely, dude. Yeah, I'll be going. I think Sam may be going with me this year. It'll either be Sam or it's going to be a solo adventure for me. But no, I'm very excited. Already got my notifications to let me know when tickets go on sale, which should be shortly after the announcements of games that are nominated. But yeah, no, I'll be there, bells and whistles. I'm excited.
And no surprise, that's the second Thursday of December, like always.
Yep. I'll be there.
So, all right. Well, that'll do it for the Gamescom bonus episode discussion. Thanks to everyone so much for listening. If you enjoyed this, make sure to hit that like button if you're watching on YouTube, or leave a rating or whatever you do on the other platforms, or leave a comment down below depending on the platform that you're on. Or you can email me at podcastoversoul@gmail.com. Nick is all over the social medias. You can find him at TheGamingFiend1 across pretty much all the places. And Brooksy is on Instagram as Brooksy My Boy. That's with an I at the end. Music from Epidemic Sounds, hosted by Podsurf FM. Thank you to Sarah for extra behind-the-scenes help. And thank you to all of you for listening and or watching. And we'll catch you in the next numbered episode, where we should be having another guest. Look forward to it. Until then, good night, everybody.
Bye.